You blink, and the newborn who once couldn't sleep without your heartbeat is now asking for their own room. You blink again, and the tiny hands that once clutched your fingers with innocent trust are now learning to let go. It happens quietly, gradually, almost without warning. And before you can even prepare your heart, you realize they're not little anymore. Children's Day is not just a celebration, it's a mirror. A moment that gently holds up our yesterdays and whispers, "Look how far they've come, and how fast it all went." It's a reminder that we are not only raising children, we're raising stories, memories, fleeting chapters that will one day be all we have left. Do you remember when they first called you Mommy or Daddy? Their voice barely formed the words, but your heart swelled like it had waited a lifetime to hear them. Or when they brought you their first drawing lines and scribbles that made no sense except for the backward letters spelling, "I love you." To anyone else, it was a messy piece of paper. But to you, it was a masterpiece. Back then, you were their everything. The fixer of broken toys. The maker of bedtime magic. The one whose presence made the monsters disappear and turned bad days into bearable ones with just a hug. And even on the hard days, when you were tired, overwhelmed, unsure, you showed up, you stayed, you tried. And in their eyes, you were still the hero. But time, it moves. Silently, swiftly, and with it, so do they. There comes a moment when their bedtime stories become optional. When the hugs at drop-off turn into awkward waves. When you realize they're confiding in friends more than you. It doesn't mean they love you less. It just means they're growing, becoming someone new, someone stronger, someone more independent. And that's what you've been raising them for. Still, your heart aches a little. And maybe, just maybe, you didn't see it happening. Maybe you were too caught up in the whirlwind of work, chores, and responsibilities. Maybe you told them, "Not now, sweetheart," one too many times. Maybe you promised, "We'll do it tomorrow," without realizing how fast tomorrow would come and go. Maybe you were present, but not really there. But it's not too late. That's the gift this Children's Day brings. A second chance to look into their eyes and truly see them. To hear not just their words, but what they're trying to say between the lines. To set down the phone, the laundry basket, the deadline, and pick up the storybook, the Lego piece, the moment. Because the truth is, childhood doesn't announce its exit. It doesn't wave goodbye or leave a note. It simply slips away, often unnoticed, leaving behind echoes of laughter in the hallway. Tiny socks in the laundry, fingerprints on the walls. These echoes are precious. They are the remnants of a time you'll one day long to relive. So pause. Just for a while. Pause the rushing. Pause the multitasking. Look at your child. The curve of their smile. The spark in their eyes. The way they still reach for your hand when no one's looking. These are the moments you'll wish you could bottle. Moments that are slipping by, faster than you can hold on to them. One day, you'll open a drawer and find a forgotten drawing, the paper worn, the colors faded, but the message still clear, "I love you." And it will stop you in your tracks, because that was once their entire world, loving you, needing you, choosing you for everything. You'll wonder where the time went, how the days that felt so long turned into years that disappeared so quickly. You'll wish you had held them a little longer that night they asked for just one more story. You'll wish you hadn't rushed through the bedtime routine or brushed off their little questions. You'll wish for one more messy morning, one more hand to hold, one more knock on your door at midnight because of a bad dream. But here's the miracle. Right now, you still have the chance. Right now, they're still growing, still reaching, still needing you in ways they don't always say. Right now, you can rewrite the story. You can start listening longer, laughing louder, loving deeper. You can trade the distractions for attention, the rush for stillness, the noise for connection. Because the most important work you'll ever do isn't in a meeting, or on a deadline, or in the perfection of your home. It's in the quiet, ordinary moments you share with them. There's power in the little things. In sitting beside them without checking your phone. In watching them draw or play without trying to teach or fix. In simply being present. Because one day, they'll remember how it felt when you listened without judgment. When you saw them, not for who you wanted them to be, but for who they truly were. That kind of love leaves a mark that lasts far beyond childhood. And yes, you'll make mistakes. You already have. We all do. Maybe you've yelled when you should have paused. Maybe you've missed a milestone. Maybe you've let guilt sit quietly in the back of your mind, whispering you're not enough. But hear this, your love is enough. Your effort is enough. You, showing up every day, even when it's hard, that is enough. Children don't need perfection. They need to know they're cherished, that their place in your heart is immovable, that they matter more than the screen, the to-do list, the noise of the world. So if you're tired, take a breath. If you're overwhelmed, let the pressure go. You are already giving them more than you know. Because when they grow up, and they won't remember every toy or trip or perfectly planned birthday. But they'll remember how it felt when you held them tight after a hard day. When you whispered, "I'm proud of you." When you stayed up to hear their thoughts, even when your eyes begged for sleep. Those are the memories that will carry them through. Children's Day isn't about grand gestures. It's about small, sacred choices. To be here, to see them, to love them fiercely in the fleeting now. Because in the blink of an eye, this season will end. And what remains won't be the noise or the chaos or the missed opportunities. It will be the love you gave freely, the presence you offered fully, the bond you built one quiet, ordinary moment at a time. There will come a day when the house is still. No toys scattered on the floor, no small voices calling out your name, no tiny footsteps running down the hallway. The rooms will be neat, the schedules less chaotic, and the silence deepening. You'll look around and wonder how the noise that once exhausted you became the silence you now ache to hear again. You'll find yourself playing old videos, scrolling through photos, closing your eyes just to remember the sound of their laugh. And in those moments, your heart will whisper the truth you never wanted to accept. They grew up so fast. But today is not that day. Today, they are still within reach. Today, you can kneel beside them and see the world through their eyes. You can sing the silly songs, read the same book for the 5th time, say yes to the puddle jumping and the sticky-fingered hugs. Today, you can slow down. You can remind them, and yourself, that time spent together is never wasted. That love is shown not just in words, but in the presence we choose to give. Today, you can make memories that will outlive the toys and the gadgets and the endless chores. One day, your child will become an adult. And when they look back, they won't remember how clean the house was or whether dinner was 5 minutes late. They'll remember the feeling of being safe in your arms. They'll remember how you made them laugh when they were sad, how you wiped their tears when they were hurt, how you looked at them like they were the most important person in the world. And that memory, that feeling, will become the voice inside them that says, "I am loved. I am enough." It's easy to get lost in the noise of parenting, to chase the perfect routine, the perfect behavior, the perfect future. But the real magic lies in the imperfect now, in the messy, beautiful, unfiltered moments when we choose connection over control. When we say, "I see you," even when they're hard to love. When we open our arms and hearts, even after a long, exhausting day. That's where parenting becomes legacy. Not in what we teach, but in how we love. So, if you're feeling worn out, unsure, or like you're not doing enough, pause, breathe, look at your child. Not the version you're trying to shape, but the one standing right in front of you. The one who still reaches for your hand. The one who still calls your name. The one who still lights up when you walk into the room. That is your reminder. That is your purpose. They grow up so fast, but right now, they are still yours. Their hearts are still open to you. Their world still turns because you are in it. So hold them close, not just with your arms, but with your attention, your laughter, your time. Let them know that even in your busy, tired, distracted moments, they are still your priority, still your joy, still your reason. This Children's Day, give them the gift they'll remember long after the decorations are gone. Give them you, your full, undivided, unapologetic love. Let the memories you make today be the ones they carry forever. Because one day, when they're grown, when they have children of their own, they'll tell them stories. Not about what you bought, but about how you made them feel. And they will say, with tears in their eyes, "My parent loved me with everything they had." And in that moment, your heart will know it was all worth it. Happy Children's Day to our kids. We're building a place where no parent has to feel invisible again. Be on the lookout for our next video, which comes out next week. Subscribe for weekly encouragement and drop a comment below if you've ever felt alone in parenting. You're not alone. Not anymore.